To another show that we talked about weekly.
Okay, so
Konosuba was great, wasn't it?
So now to start for our winter wrap-up.
I know, shut up.
For our official winter wrap-up, we only actually wrapped up like 3 shows, so it's fine.
This is the only one I finished.
Yeah,
so I'm done.
So now me and Connor can talk about...
Go have fun, guys.
That was a boring last episode.
I liked the last episode.
It was okay. It was just like, how many tropes can we throw out? And I felt like what's it called? The pleb show did it better.
Showman Sample?
Yes.
You guys just always really like the parody show this season?
No, Showman Sample... Okay, if you're going to do a show that is mostly comedy and like diverting tropes and stuff, don't have a last episode that is like more than half...
Also, Showman Sample is just reverse Orin School Host Club.
No, it isn't.
No.
I've seen Orin Host Club. It isn't. Because at least Showman Sample is enjoyable. No, it isn't.
Dude, I've watched more Orin Host Club than I've watched Showman Sample.
No, but here's the thing. Orin Host Club is an actual harem romance.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Where in Showman Sample, there was none of that. There was all comedy. It was a funny show.
Remember the Orin School Host Club?
You have the...
No, because you know what I remember about Orin Host Club? I remember the bits where, like, it's all dark and all the characters are somber and they're all wet because it was raining outside. And then the twin guys kind of fighting for his feelings. And then I also remember the other stuff of just, like, emotional, like, tense moments between characters of, like, oh, I kind of like this girl, but I don't want to say anything.
Dustin, did you watch the last episode of Showman Sample?
No.
I will list off.
There is a part in the last episode.
Freddie Mercury fist fights.
They broke into a mansion and there's a fucking mech.
A mecha.
Yeah, it's because this is a shonen and that's a shoujo.
But they weren't.
I think it's a pretty apt comparison.
It is not an apt comparison, Dawson.
I think it is.
Showman Sample. That was the point. Okay. So Showman Sample's entire point was being diversion from tropes and just being a silly, stupid, fun show. And they just wanted to make jokes.
Yeah. Orin Host Club is a romance harem.
No, it's a comedy and parody first and foremost.
No, it isn't.
It's the most watched shoujo. If you have a female cousin who watches anime, they will have an Orin Host Club something.
Yeah.
It's a romance, Dawson. In my head.
It's a parody.
In my head.
Dude, I've watched way more shoujo than you ever have.
I know.
I've read way more shoujo than you ever have.
We're getting close to quiet hours.
It is quiet hours.
We're getting quiet hours.
As of 1 minute.
Okay. I know, but I've at least watched...
I have a lot more backing in this than you do.
Yeah, but I've watched all of Orin Host Club, and I could say that Showman Sample does... No. I've seen the entirety of both shows. You're making a comparison to to 2 shows that I've seen both of.
Watched a decent amount of both of them.
Maybe, okay.
And I have an army of shoujo backing me up.
It's closer to Nozaki. Let's just move on.
Nozaki's different, though, because Nozaki's a shonen parodying shoujo. This is a shoujo parodying shoujo. And Showman Sample is a shonen parodying shoujo. No, it's a shonen parodying shonen.
Was it? Well, it was a shonen?
There's no way it's parodying shoujo.
I think it was parodying everything, honestly. There wasn't much that it didn't touch on.
Yeah. But we're not talking about Showman Sample.
It wasn't like action show.
No, guys, stop. We're not talking about Showman Sample. This is the second time I've had to do this. We're talking about Konosuba. What are we doing?
And Konosuba's ending was boring. Like, it was, okay, this thing came in. Everyone use your big, strong powers and show off how cool you are at the end, which isn't what Konosuba is about. And then, it had one really interesting part, where it was like, they were reading through the guy's diary of the guy who made it, which was really interesting.
What I would have to say about that episode is that it was easily one of those things where it's like, we need to throw in a final episode.
Yeah.
We'll use this.
But Season 2 confirmed. Why would you do that?
Because the thing is, Season 2 was probably confirmed after they finished animating the whole series. Okay. It's not like they're animating it the week before, unless you're Trigger.
Or South Park.
Unless you're those 2 anime studios. One anime, one animation studio. Unless you're those studios.
South Park is an anime, confirmed.
Hey.
There's been parts. But,
it's as much an anime as Cory in the House is an anime.
Actually, the amount of times people have referenced South Park in anime is pretty impressive. Like,
but
it is pretty
the thing is, the way that episode ended is that's how it was. Like, I felt that was a fitting, like, okay, let's just end with this episode because it's a way to wrap up the story in a way where it would show off all the characters and do something good for all the characters. And then not only that, but, present a sequel bait in a way if they weren't supposed to get a season 2. But then halfway through they got the season 2, but, they don't change, they don't reanimate the stuff, they just put it out. So it made sense in a way where if you didn't know there was a season 2 going on, it was a way that it's the safe choice. It wasn't a Showman sample of mech.
Yeah, the Showman sample was we are never ever getting a season 2 ever.
Let's do this. Let's have Freddie Mercury
let's
have a fist fight. Let's have a Katana Girl go into another dimension. Let's have a mecha. Let's have them like on stuff. Like
let's ride drones like a skateboard.
Yeah, like. That like there's the
for the honor of my family.
There's the safe choice, and then there's the go out with a bang choice.
We don't give a fuck anymore choice.
And that's what Showman Sample was. And then with Konosuba,
it was a very safe choice.
It was a very safe choice.
However, the episode before, or 2 episodes,
we've already talked about that in full.
That alone was a 10 out of 10 episode for me. Like,
yeah, I know. We've had long discussions about this, but in overall, how would you say that you liked Konosuba?
Darkness best girl.
That's not an answer to my question.
I know. That's the point. Waiting for you to go, and you're obviously wrong. It was good. There was moments where it seemed cheap, but for all the shit that like people were giving Dean before, and like how you guys were going, oh, this isn't a show you want to watch. Like, this was definitely the big surprise of the season.
Dean's on the rise.
Like,
Dean's on the rise.
This was possibly the most enjoyable of the season for me.
And apparently, it wasn't even Dean's best show of the season.
What?
Yeah, that's Rakugo.
I haven't watched the other show.
Yeah, dude, Rakugo apparently
but from everything
is like,
I've heard, that show is like
Rakugo is the
shit.
Is why does everyone like a race? That's trash. Watch Rakugo. That's literally what it is, and it's Dawson stuff, not your stuff. You would not enjoy it. You would like it, Dawson, because it's very character heavy. You would not like it because it's probably boring for you, but
I'll get around to it.
But so
probably not actually.
There's only 3 animes that. Oh well, there's a 4th anime I could quickly talk about and touch on. But before that, I have 3, like, in my top 3 list.
What did you think of Konosuba?
Oh, I really enjoyed it, but it's probably not. I
better or worse than Showman Sample?
I felt that I enjoyed Showman Sample a bit better. Just a bit.
Just a little bit.
Just a bit.
This was definitely the Showman Sample of the season.
It's the Showman Sample of the season. And there was moments
which is funny because they were both huge sleeper hits.
Yeah.
Like, neither of us, we were on both of them, we're like, eh.
We both looked at that and we went, no. And then we decided to just
except it was the opposite person. Like, on Showman Sample, I was like, I don't want to touch this. And you're like, no, let's see it. And then I was the opposite on Konosuba.
Me and you just started laughing. And then you were just like, yeah, you... I looked on that list. There's no sleeper hits. There's no sleeper hits I could see of. Because I've already combed the ground on spring season.
Yeah.
But... moving on from that, I would say that it wouldn't. It definitely hit, like, I only technically finished 5 anime this season, so it probably hit top 5. Is this better or worse than BBK/BRNK? I don't know. BBK/BRNK.
Did Beautiful Joe bring it up for you?
Dude, okay, you know what? This is better than BBK/BRNK because at least it was solid all the way through. BBK/BRNK is... It started out, this is a cool concept.
Yeah.
And then it had 4 episodes of, this is tropey. I will just leave my computer running, playing the show.
Yeah, this is just like random fight scenes.
No, it was a tournament, quote unquote tournament. And I was like, okay, whatever. And then when they introduced the new teams, I went, yeah, this is dope.
These are interesting characters.
These are cool characters. And then when they started doing the actual mecha fights, I was like, yeah. And when they started talking about, like, characters' backstories, I was like, yeah? And then when they started doing a lot of other things, I was like, this is dope.
Yeah?
This is... Dude, there was a... Dude, I love it because there was a very subtle moment in it where... One of my favorite moments... Oh, Dawson's gonna start reading air here.
You do this all the time, Connor.
I don't read manga,
But Anyway, there's a moment where I really enjoyed this, where Team Russia is just a bunch of assholes. They're just a bunch of there are 3 assholes and 2 actual decent guys. There's basically the Team Russia is comprised of a brother, his 2 sisters, and then their 2 servants/slaves. Basically what happened is that these 2 kids were orphans, and then the dad brought them and gave them kindness and let them be servants in their household. And so basically the brother treats them like trash. Mm-hmm. And then it was really interesting where both of the sisters like incested. Dawson, help me with this word. Incestuously loved their brother in a way.
Just say romantically.
No, whatever. But they love her brother so much, but they keep failing him because the sniper girl is single-handedly the most OP character in the entire show.
Wait, are you talking about the irregular?
No.
Wait. I'm sorry. Please ignore what I just said. I got shitty shonens mixed up in my head.
Anti-magic high school.
Yeah, that's the one I meant to say.
No, and so the sisters, they follow their brother, but they keep failing because the sniper girl is really OP. Like, she's incredible. She's a melee fighter. She's a long-range fighter. She blows them out of the water every single time they fight. And there's multiple times where they lose to her, and the brother's ready to slap the shit out of his sisters because they failed him. And then what happens is literally like the slave guys take the hit instead.
White Knight.
Yeah, they White Knight the shit out of that. And then one of the sisters just goes pretends nothing happens, and the other sister you could tell that she has glances of seeing them in pain on the ground writhing and just noticing these guys are actually doing decent stuff for us, but we treat them like shit. And then later on they go up into the
man. He really is a White Knight.
They go up into Treasure Island.
I didn't want to do that.
They go up into Treasure Island. There's a part where they start stealing all the hearts, and then he's like, "I'm gonna make an army, and I'm gonna crash this island into Mother Russia." And they're like, "Why are you gonna kill our country, man?" And he's just like, "We don't need them. I'm good, man. I'll blow up all of Russia." And
Team 4-star. That's Disney evil.
Yeah, so they're ready to blow up Russia, and then he was just like, and they're like, "Dude, what the hell?" And they stop him, and then the sister sides of the slaves and da da da.
Well,
and
obviously Team America was the most interesting team.
Team America is really interesting, but
just because the one guy.
The one guy's really interesting, and then the rest of the characters are really interesting because they just treat him like shit. It's really funny.
Yeah.
But so they all get hearts because that's what they're trying to. They went up to steal all the hearts of the Babunki, and they gave more backstory from where I left off. They gave a lot more backstory of what the Babunkis are and what they are. And then season 2 is now announced, and it's going to focus more on the sister now, which I'm really excited.
What happened to the red-haired girl, the main villain?
Last time I saw that, she was about to crush the shit out of the main character's mom. She she was in the mech with, hands wrapped around her, about to, straight up, pop. So I have to finish that.
Yeah.
I have 1 episode left, but I even where I waited, and it's 6.57, but one of the better animes of the season. At least I didn't drop it. Actually, I had an enjoyable time with it. I liked it. Durarara, solid last season. I really liked Durarara. You guys should really watch Durarara. Durarara is solid.
He's purposely not spoiling for us.
Yes.
If that sounds incredibly vague.
Yeah.
Also, Dawson, what the fuck are you reading, motherfucker?
Air Gear.
Air Gear, dude.
But
As
I guessed it.
You just ignores.
As I guessed it, I was correctly right. Where the majority of the season takes place over the span of one night. The majority of the episodes take place at the span of one night. And it's the climax of 3 different storylines coming to its culmination and to its finality. And it's actually really interesting to see all the characters all in all one area just all converging at one point. And it's really cool. And it's actually really nice that they finished it. And there's a really, really cool moment where, because they start using the chat room less and less throughout the seasons because they're focusing on the overall plot points. But there's 2 characters that are always on the chat room, and they're kind of narrating what's going on in the chat room. of like, oh, scary stuff is going on outside, guys. Be careful. Wait, no one's on here. Oh well. But one of my favorite parts is literally they go, wow, this chat room's been empty for like weeks. I think it's dead now, guys. Well, it's been a fun ride. I'm really glad to be I got to watch it with like you guys and like kind of echoing the audience, and it was really nice. And they did a little nice thing where at the end where the chat room like they go back onto the chat room and those same characters pop up.
The end of Durara?
Yeah, and it's I'm being very big. This is not spoilers for anything.
I mean, this is the end of every Durara ever.
No, this is what I'm getting at. And it was really nice where they got to finish all of the first series. And if they animate more, cool. That'll be awesome if they animate SH.
If they animate Bakuno, that'd be better.
If they animate Bakuno, that'd be great. But if they don't animate anymore...
No. It's like Bakuno's like FLCL. You really shouldn't make more.
Bakuno has more in the manga, doesn't it?
You mean the light novel? Yes.
Light novel.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, dude, that was...
I really enjoyed the last 3 episodes of Bakuno that came after the fact.
Dude, Bakuno, that was only one novel that they animated. They only animated one novel. There's like 10.
But saying you don't want a Bakuno season 2 is like saying you didn't want a Durara season 2. And I felt like Durara actually is growing quite from where it started.
No, dude, I greatly enjoy the later the way that everything... Because it's actually, like, you don't finish the stories when you finish season 1. There's a lot of stories that are still left in, not complete. And when you get to the end of of Durara, it comes to the head of all those conflicts, everything comes to head, and everything comes to the resolution. But what I really enjoyed from it was at the end they go into the chat room, and it was really nice where the characters that were doing the narration on the chat room come on and go, well, I guess this is the end, guys. This chat room's officially dead. Maybe one day new and interesting characters will come back. Huh. Kind of like there's SH out there. There's SH out there, and if we animate SH, there's a whole new cast of characters because it's gonna be Ikebukuro all over again, but not the same characters.
Of course.
Like Mikado will be like off in the distance doing something, or like or like Shizu will just pass by, or those characters.
Classic
cameo. But they're not gonna be
sort of thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. Shizuo seems to get involved with everything, whether he wants to or not.
Oh, dude, Shizuo, the end of the Shizuo Izaya conflict is fantastic. I liked it. I actually liked the end of all 3 major conflicts that come to a head. From a very non-spoiler standpoint, what do you think are the 3 main conflicts? Because you've seen them. You've seen all 3 conflicts. I already said one.
Shizuo, Izaya, Yellow Scarves, and...
Dollars.
And
Henri,
the Russians.
Nope, that's not a main plot point. There's a huge main plot point involving one character.
Isn't there the new informant guy?
Nope, that's not the main plot point.
What? Why did they even introduce him?
Because that is to a different plot point. It's actually part of one of the 3 plot points. It's actually part of all 3 plot points. But come on, there's one really big story point that's like been a culmination that's always been there. Do you want me
Does it involve Henri or Celti?
It involves Celti.
Okay.
It's Celti's head. The issue with Celti's head.
It's not a conflict. It's just
like
Celti looking for her head.
No, but
it's a main plot point, but it's not a main conflict.
The 3 main characters have always been Mikado, Celti, and Izaya. The 3 central.
I don't know. Henri and
no, they're main characters, but the story has always revolved around Mikado, Izaya, and Celti. And those 3 conflicts all come to head by the end of the season of each one of their conflicts. Think about it.
I'd argue Shizuo over Izaya for the first
you're right.
3 seasons.
Shizuo or Izaya could
from everything I've watched,
they could easily be interchangeable.
They're 2 sides of the same coin.
Yeah, you could easily replace either one. But
either or.
But remember who were the first 3 members on the chat group? It was those 3. And that's why I was saying those are the 3 main people.
Yeah.
But Durara, fantastic. I can't wait for you guys to watch it. If I have to, I will force you guys to watch it.
When it's dubbed, I will watch it.
I will. At some point or another.
Cool. Moving on then.
Moving on to the final anime that we actually watched and finished. IBO.
Pretty enjoyable.
Pretty enjoyable, yeah. For what is supposed to be one of the worst Gundams out there, pretty enjoyable.
Binged 3 episodes. Mika decided to be chaotic again. Twice in a row, actually.
Oh, Iron is a piece of shit that totally failed at his entire life.
Iron?
Yeah, he thought he killed 3 people.
That was so stupid. I still think that's the dumbest asshole.
At least one of them should have died. And we know which one should have died. And it's the person who got chopped in the head. The other 2, it was unclear if they died. And it was fine if they didn't die.
It was more like, we don't have time to build up to their deaths.
No, it's more of, these characters actually are really likable and actually have potential for season 2. Let's keep them.
Yeah. But they need a job for this big guy first. So.
Yeah. They need But, I mean, overall, like, if you exclude the Akihiro arc...
Blonde guy is about as much of a shit as they built him up to be.
Isn't he the best character in that show?
He's such a shit.
Dude, isn't he the best character in that show?
I like Dorga at the end, honestly.
Dude, blonde guy's the best character of that show. Like, dude, blonde guy's Griffith. Like, he's, like... Connor's turned to me and he goes, dude, this guy's Griffith. And I was like, yeah, he is. I didn't want to say anything, but
here's the thing, you knew he was going to betray him the whole time. Oh, wait.
I actually didn't know.
No, he kept saying he was going to do it. He straight up said, I need to set up the pieces so everyone, fights each other and in the end we'll take over and kill everyone. And he didn't tell them his plans. And he didn't tell Tekadon his plans. It was all his plans. He was just using them as pawns to get what he wanted. And he kept saying that the whole time. With Hitler's stash guy right behind him.
Dude, that was some brutal stuff that went down though.
But the fucking heart-to-hearts he had with people before murdering them?
That was the best. Like, the whole entire fight with him and Galio, I was literally I was on the edge of my seat I love this character so much, And apparently, that's Char. That's Char from the original series of 0079. He's literally a Char clone. And here's the thing, Dawson, I know you hate Code Geass. It's because Code Geass failed to try to do what Gundam does. Because somebody explained it, where Char, he is a master tactician and an excellent pilot. And Code Geass, what did they do is that they split up Char's role into 2 separate characters. And that's Lelouch and Suzaku. And it made that series infinitely more worse.
I wonder why.
But in the original series, Char is this master tactician who is an excellent pilot. And apparently 0079 ends off with the really hypest fight ever of...
Does he have a weakness?
I don't know what... I've not seen...
They're usually well-rounded.
Yeah, I've never seen 0079. I've not seen 079. I will one day watch 079. But apparently...
People things like, what was it? Trust and love.
And
those soft emotions mean nothing to me.
No.
Or they won't bend me.
So I will get to the character who's the Char clone. But apparently the final fight of 0079 involves 2 mechs. They fight. They use one weapon, gets destroyed. They use guns, gets destroyed. Use swords, use the Gundam swords, gets destroyed. Their mechs get destroyed. They proceed to jump out of the mechs and sword fight out of the mechs. And then this hype fight ensues. And I'm hoping we get something similar. But the reason why a lot of people don't like IBO, or a lot of Gundam fans, is that they're taking a lot of stuff from previous Gundams.
Can I just say the last fight was kind of bullshit?
Oh, that's great.
Mika, the only reason she was losing, apparently...
No.
...is A, he wasn't taking in enough, brain stuff from his... he wasn't taking in enough input and output
No, because here's the thing.
Which is understandable.
No, because here's the thing.
You can fuck up your mind.
Ein was combined fully with the machine. Mika is still a human separated from the machine.
I'm fine with that, but the other bullshit thing was he was trying to use a katana as a blunt weapon.
And then,
I swear to God.
And then
that is a real plot point they do.
And then halfway through the fight he goes, wait a second, I know how to use this weapon.
Because he accidentally chopped off the other guy's arm and he goes, oh, that's how you use this weapon. And then he just destroys the guy with a katana. And we're like, what the fuck?
Because the thing is, the whole time he was fighting with a club. He was basically fighting with a club. And then he had a katana as a secondary weapon. And so when he switched over, he was still using it as a club. Because he was used to fighting with that club. But going to the Char clone is that the Char clone literally, I'm pretty sure when we get to the second season, it's going to be his kind of downfall in a way. Because it even ends with that where his father goes, I took you out of despair, and this path you're going is only heading you back into
No, if you forget that, you'll head back into this.
Because he basically took his 2 only friends in the world, used them. He basically used Casca and Guts and just used them and then threw them. Unlike the feast where they didn't where they're wait, what's good? Where he didn't know he was gonna betray them until the very last moment of yeah, I should probably betray these people. It was
he was planning on it.
Okay, yeah, you're right. right. But in Gundam, he straight up planned. He's like, I'm gonna kill them off.
Yeah. He specifically planned their deaths.
His plan revolved around his friends dying.
He goes, yes, and the fact that you're dead means that I'll be the only heir to your sister's family, and the fact that her older sister's dead, who was another character who he had a heart-to-heart and had her go sacrifice herself, because she's dead.
There's no
the
other
sister's
heir.
the only heir of the family, so it's just me and her. So it's like he planned to kill them both the whole time.
Because there's only
his
only
plan
three.
wouldn't work unless they were dead.
There was only 3 heirs. There was only 3 heirs to the company, and he killed 2 of them off.
Who were like his best friends.
Who were his best friends in the world. And that's why we're like.
He even goes, "You really were my best friend, by the way."
Connor sends me a message where I go, "Dude, go watch IBO," and he's like, "Dude, I heard the 2D villain dies," and I go, "Yeah, she dies." And then when we were watching, I was like, yeah, she dies, but here's the thing. It raises up that other character so much more. The fact that the fact that she was like a 2D villain.
Yeah.
Like, the thing is, these 2 characters, Galio and Carta. Yeah. Carta was a 2D villain, was terrible, but was not the best character.
Galio, if anything bad, was an anti-hero.
Yeah, was an anti-hero.
He was against the side, but he was like the most well-meaning character.
He was the guy who wanted to protect the system, but saw the corruptness in it, but wanted to just keep it going.
Okay.
And basically, they're not the best characters. And then you have the
main. He was okay. He was okay. He has an arc where like one of the kids who attacked them at the beginning.
Yeah.
That guy gets half killed, so he has the whole judgment of do I put this guy in the real. Fusion to robot suit kind of thing.
Or do I zone Avengers to him, or do I just let him die?
Yeah.
And he decides...
my personal taste are, I feel like that's disgusting and I shouldn't do it, but it's his wishes.
Yeah.
So I'm going to follow his wishes. And it turns out the blonde guy was just using him as well.
Yeah. So basically, these 2 characters...
the reason that guy was being used as well is because the big group that they're a part of says that's disgusting, but then they went and made it anyways to use for their own purposes.
Yeah.
And so when that comes to light, that group gets thrown off.
The blonde guy starts to seem like, okay, he starts out as a decent character, a very this tactician,
and he
great
always
pilot.
follows the rules. He's super strict and stuff.
But then by killing off these 2 characters rose his character to a whole different level for me, where I went they were the stepping stones to make him a better character. And I came off of watching IBO going, that's the best character.
And I definitely see him as a foil to Orga, who was trying the whole time not to sacrifice people for their own. He said people, it's my job to decide where they die and that kind of thing. But at the same time, at the very end, he was did I he was questioning saying that.
Yeah.
And the guy's like, no, you have to in order for their deaths to mean what you had to mean in the first place, you have to keep believing that.
Yeah.
Right? And it was really interesting because he had to send a lot of people to their deaths at that point.
Yeah. No,
and people are going
he straight up goes, hey guys, you guys are all going to be decoys. You guys are all
probably die. If you don't want to do this, turn around and go home now.
Yeah.
And
then they were all like, yeah, we'll do it.
We'll do it.
We got this.
And he's like, shit, I really don't want to do this. But, yeah, he sent him in.
Dude, it's okay.
And the last line he has was guys, we won, don't die now. We got to our destination, don't die, whatever you do.
So overall, I really enjoyed IBO, and I'm really interested to see what other next season's Gundam Unicorn. And apparently Gundam Unicorn, which is a 6-episode OVA, is rated as, the best Gundam ever made, probably next to Thunderbolt, which is still airing. But those 2 are apparently the top tier of Gundam. Mm-hmm. And that's airing next season as an animated series. So I'm really interested in seeing what else Gundam has to offer that's not IBO, that's written by the original guy who did Gundam and made it successful as it is. And you're gonna sit there next to me watching it.
Of course so.
And we're gonna see which one, how it actually is. Because we took a look at 8th MS apparently, which is really great, and
okay.
It was we both came off of I came off of okay, I want to watch more, but I'm not let's watch more right now.
Yeah.
And you came off of okay, it's kind of like this horror story. I don't know how. I don't really enjoy those sort of things, but it's doing well what it is. So I want to see what Unicorn has to offer, and then when we come back in fall to finish to get the 2nd season of IBO, What's gonna happen? I'm really interested. Can't wait. And overall, I really enjoyed it. There was a little couple of dips, specifically the arc with Akihiro's brother, and then the other dip with Biscuit. But besides those 2 dips, I liked it.
Yeah, it was a good show. I enjoyed it.
So, now that we've talked about the ones that we liked, oh yeah, I gave it like a 7.5. Because there's a couple of dips. What did you rate it?
I'd say about the same.
Okay.
It was a good show. I enjoyed it. It was decent fun.
So now we give our salute to the shows that have fallen. And I used to be about this. I used to be about this whole no drop master race deal business, and then
you learned the cold hard truth.
And then this season killed me. I was able to do it last season.
Yeah.
I was able to do it the majority of last season. I was able to do it through summer season, but it's because those 2 seasons I actually was watching shows that I was enjoying.
Remember how I was super excited for Dimension W at the beginning?
So do you want to start there?
Sorry.
The haunted house episode happened.
So let's start there.
The 2-episode arc.
Salute to Dimension W, where we reached 5 episodes and never turned back.
You had 2 interesting characters and a really interesting start, but Jesus Christ, you dropped the ball. Hard that I didn't want to watch anymore.
Apparently the manga goes more in depth. Apparently the anime rushed a bunch of things, and it came off of a lackluster show.
Story of most anime adaptations.
So we kind of dodged
right there.
Yeah.
I've seen people go, anyone else watch this shitty show just for the robot character?
So, salute to Dimension W. Salute you.
Could have been cool.
I watched.
You count that.
I may or may not count that.
Dude, I'm counting ones I've only watched 1 or 2 episodes of. Come on.
Keep going.
I will count it if I chose to watch it myself.
Okay, that is true.
We are not putting Dimension W on here. Or, what's it called?
Divine Gate.
Divine Gate, I'm sorry.
Because we're still watching that.
Because
You
we
two
will
will finish
it.
that.
We will see Dawson.
We're still only going to watch it weekly.
if that.
Or twice a week.
Or every other week.
Yeah.
Next up is Active Raid. I salute you for being a very funny first episode.
Yeah, it was okay.
We just didn't want to watch anymore, did we?
No, I did not.
I really didn't want to see anymore.
It was okay. I mean,
it wasn't terrible.
I felt like that could have
I've
been
seen
good.
worse.
No, apparently a lot of the people who watched it, they enjoyed it, but for me right now, I'm like...
Seemed pretty niche to
and
me.
other things to do.
I have better things to do with my life, yeah. That's probably going to be the story of this season as well. For Dawson, as he cries in a corner as I call out Phantom World.
Episode 3 4 sucked.
I don't want to talk about Phantom World.
And this is what happens with weekly shows that I watch with you guys, where for me, I get a bad episode and I go, oh, that was a bad episode. Next week, I'm like, oh, I don't watch this. Drag myself out of the room, like, okay, I'll watch it. But when I watch it with you guys and I get through a certain amount of points, I think it's after 3 episodes. If I watch 3 episodes with you guys, I'm like, I have to keep watching it with them, or else I'm just not gonna be able to watch this. And Phantom World was Dimension W was like that, where I was like, oh, I'll watch more. I was like, nah, that was I was watching it because you wanted to watch it, basically. Phantom World, I was watching it because Dawson wanted to watch it. And then when Dawson lost the will to watch this show
and live,
yeah,
and lose all faith.
In
Kyoane.
We'll wait till the Hibeki movie.
I'm making
when the Hibeki movie comes out, I'm really hoping it will restore my trust.
Do you want to hurt Dawson again?
Oh, we can.
Do you want to?
We have that. We have that in the we have that in the works one day.
No, I mean we have it right on the list right now.
Oh, Haruka and Chica?
Yeah.
Apparently Chica's a real... I actually visited those threads every week. I visited those threads every week.
Was Chica the girl?
Yeah, Chica's the girl. And apparently she's one of the best female protagonists that most of the people who've watched that show ever watched. And they really enjoyed Chica's character.
I despised Tara.
Yeah, and that's the main problem with it when you watch it. It's that character was just terrible. But apparently the whole episodic of each episode having...
literally nothing to do with the fact he was gay, either. It was literally... I swear, if I watched the entire thing without the, the Rubik's Cube episode, I could probably make it through the whole show.
Yeah.
But that Rubik's Cube episode just made me want to go, I never want to watch
this
again.
Dawson, Haruka and Chica, and Phantom World, talk about it. Talk to us about it. Join the conversation.
Phantom World, I have nothing to say. because I refuse to say anything about Phantom World unless I watch all of it and come up with a well thought out review on why I'm disappointed in Kyoto Animation.
Can I spoil something for Phantom World?
No. Dawson's thinking really hard.
It's a very vague spoiler.
Dawson's thinking really hard. I've never seen Dawson think this hard before in my life.
I don't want to talk about Phantom World anymore, so we're just gonna stop.
There was fulfilled incest.
Dude, I gotta watch this
I might actually be more interested in watching it now.
I'm now back in. I'm putting that back on my old list.
It's not what I think.
I was just browsing 4chan and it goes, wait, incest end or something like that. I was like, damn, what?
Huh.
Dude.
Why is that a plus for you two?
Because they decided to do it. They have the balls.
Yeah, like,
it doesn't make it good.
It's not just the balls to do it. It's literally just freaking everyone's ripping off Orihimo now.
I mean,
they didn't have the balls. Actually, no. The writer had the balls, but the publishers didn't.
Dude, this was a super fan servicey show. Never mind. Okay.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about it. And Haruka and Chika, I'm sure it was good. I'm sure it was.
Dawson would enjoy it. It's weird.
I just don't have the okay, I don't know. That's something I probably would have enjoyed if I watched it under a different context.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure I was already salty about something else when I started watching it.
Cube, I can't.
And then I was watching it.
No, dude, this is what's gonna happen. This is what's gonna happen. Like 5 months from now, Dawson's just gonna see a GIF from Haruka and Chika, and then
watch it.
And watch it.
I'll be like, guys, that was pretty good. It happens with a lot of things.
Dude.
I just see a GIF and I'm like, dude,
okay.
I need to watch this.
I'm putting my bets on this right now.
Honestly, I'm pretty sure I've watched more anime because of GIFs I've seen than anything else.
Dude, why do you think I watched Samurai Flamenco?
Yeah.
The best GIF in the world.
Oh, I watched a movie because of it.
Yeah.
Prince of Stride.
What's it called?
Prince of Stride.
Whoever are dead. The hard names to remember are dead.
Okay.
The Romeo and Juliet. It was the Hamlet. Take on Hamlet.
Oh, Rosencrantz and Guildenstern are dead?
Yeah. I saw that because of the GIF where it's like they're trying to do the Newton's balls.
Yeah.
And
oh, yeah.
So,
that part's great.
Keep it up with anime. Prince of Stride, we salute you. You were running anime that apparently ended lacklusterly, so...
Or as we like to call it, free running. Sorry.
Pretty much.
I mean, when I talked to Dawson about this, you were like, if I ever go to, I don't know, I'll watch all of it. I'll just watch all of it.
Probably. I don't...
And I was just like, I'm never watching this.
Yeah.
I mean, you enjoyed Free.
I did enjoy Free, but I didn't enjoy it enough to watch the second season.
But this is like Free, but more towards you.
I know.
You love running.
Yeah, but it doesn't have Kyoto Animation.
Next up is the shoujo anime. I salute you for apparently even getting worse.
Wait, what show was this?
The one about the guys who are trying to make the visual novel.
Oh, yeah.
That was a thing, wasn't it?
So
it just seemed like a worse version of that one I watched. No.
So the way that
what was it? People, it was like a day in the life of anime animators that people really like.
Shirobako?
Was it like that?
No.
So
Shirobako's great, by the way. Never finished it, but it's great.
I went through those threads for.
You understand, so it's okay.
I went through those threads, dude, and I literally apparently. Everyone said if this anime didn't have forced drama, and just focus because apparently the stuff where they talked about like creating a visual novel was actually really informational and spot on and like actually like Shirobako-esque of like this is how the industry works in a way.
Yeah.
But then they added in a ton of forced drama and. Well,
so it's like the opposite of Welcome to the NHK.
Utarimono! This is the official...
We just silently dropped it.
None of us wanted to...
talking about it.
It wasn't even like Andrew was like, come on guys, we gotta watch another episode. We just all like collectively, silently on our own decided we just don't want to see it anymore.
Because here's the thing. I was defending it to the point where we stopped watching it. And then even when we got to the part where we stopped watching it, and I realized to myself at some point, I'm like, why am I defending this? Even I'm not enjoying this. Like, I wasn't even enjoying this since minute 1. What the hell? Okay, no. I enjoyed it for like the first couple episodes, but like
the first season was.
I
good.
enjoyed the first 12, the first core.
You were defending the opening, man.
Yeah, I know. Why were you doing that?
Because I still stand by it's a fantastic one.
Please don't.
After watching Mother's Basement, like tearing like good seeming openings a new one, you're gonna say those are good? He's changed my like. I don't think I agree with him that every opening needs to be super deep and everything has to have a meaning behind it.
But after watching that Sword Art Online one, yeah.
Like, oh my god, so many openings became shit after that.
After you watched the Sword Art Online one?
Yeah.
Man, no, Dawson, you just gotta watch it because he talks about everything after. Like, Crossing Field, he actually compliments. Like,
yeah, but I don't know. I've spent so much time
defending Sword Art Online.
Not even that, watching people just like put it down and put it down and put it down, and like I know it deserves it, but it doesn't deserve it to that extent. Like there's other shows that are just as bad. Like why choose Sword Art?
Because it got popular even though it was bad.
I know.
See, here's the thing: if One Punch Man suddenly dropped the ball and like they animated them dropping the ball, like it would be
how. Like even if it was just generic going for all the jokes and it focused more on the humor than the action, it would have been a fine series because it had such a good like comedy.
No, but it would have gone
It didn't need to be action.
Okay, let me if
sorry,
Attack on Titan hasn't had a season 2.
It's kind of...
They can just use the Attack on Titan as it is. Apparently a lot of people don't like that how they did the first season of it.
Yeah, because the first season's trash.
But it was gorgeous trash.
No, here's the... I will stand by this point. Attack on Titan, the anime, is trash. Because they animated basically the first 30 chapters to the exactness scene for panel with bits and pieces changed here and there. And the thing about that is that first 30 chapters is all set up to the rest of the manga. And the problem is when you just animate setup and then spend 3 years not keep building up to continuing that setup, it's like, wow, that animation's...
I don't know. I like everything they did with Levi and his group.
Dude, there's so much more. Like
I know.
But
the 4 characters that died, that was pretty interesting. The whole thing with Annie and all that.
Like there's so much more of these guys legitimately sending people to their deaths because they have no other, they literally are we have no other choice. We gotta send them to their death. Like, with the Scout Legion, they're we gotta prevent these deaths, guys. But for, there are moments where they're literally, there's 20 Titans standing right there, and there's, 50 of us, and we're on a flat plain with no trees around us. We gotta charge at them, guys. And it's why? Because if we don't, we lose. And it's
oh, Attack on Titan spoilers.
No, this is incredibly vague.
Yeah, we're
incredibly vague. Dude,
no, dude,
I don't think so.
No,
my part wasn't.
No,
my part
dude,
was the
I
anime.
literally made up that section and just related it to different parts of the manga. There are parts where literally, there are people who don't even volunteer for the Scout Legion and just end up on there, I wasn't part of this group, why am I dying? But, we salute you, all those dropped anime. I'm not even gonna mention that other one on the list, because Mono was the best, it was a great ender. The last one I have on there is Luck and Logic. I was dude, we watched one episode of that.
Why would we even consider watching more of
You're saying Luck and Logic, you have to see the one with the weird German name too.
No, okay, it doesn't even count as watching that, what I did.
Oh my god. Here's the thing. I forgot about that.
You forgot about that?
I forgot we even glanced at it.
What I did does not count as watching that show.
Yeah, that was the best moment in my
I watched about as intently as I did in Luck and Logic, so...
But I will finish Dengashi Kashi eventually. Why didn't I mention this earlier? You know what, Dengashi Kashi? I'll take it, dude. Fuck it.
I'll catch up with the manga.
I'll finish Dengashi
Andrew's
Kashi.
just so happy they changed the opening, honestly.
I'll finish BBKB. I'm best opening of the season, guys. We'll finish Divine Gate. We'll finish Gate. And all those other shorts that I looked at, I was they're 2 minutes. I'll finish those. I'll finish Sushi, please.
We gotta get back on Sekko Boys, though.
We forgot about Sekko Boys. How sad is that?
It's probably done by now, so we can watch all of it.
We'll do that in Sushi.
We were so hyped for Sekko Boys, too.
Like, Sushi Place is literally the same episode over and over again.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to.
Dude, it's only 2 minutes. Like,
I know.
Sometimes that's even too much.
So, when is the Monster Shorts coming back?
Oh, I have to finish Oji-san to Marshmallow-san.